So thanks everyone for joining. So today we will look at the watch predictive technique. Before that, let's start with the prayers. Shuklam Bharadaram Vishnu Sashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyahet Sarva Vigna Upashantaye. Om Shri Gurubhyo Nama. Om Shri Gurubhyo Nama. Om Shri Gurubhyo Nama. Om Saraswatyai Namah. Om Saraswatyai Namah. Om Saraswatyai Namah. This is what we are going to see today. So, what is this watch predictive technique? Who pioneered it? Who came up with it? Where all it can be used? What are the calculations? How you will interpret watch predictive technique? How you can find favorable times in a day for you? And then other research which I have done, which you will have to apply and see whether it also works for you or not. So watch predictive technique was pioneered by Dr. E Saravanan. So he was associated with ICAS closely. He's still associated with ICAS. So I met him way back in 2001 2 when he was the ICAS capital chairman in Chennai, and I was studying there. So it was during that time he initially introduced this technique, and I think in the last couple of years he has published a book, uh, which you can get it from Chandra publications, which details how the technique. So what is predictive technique? So looking at the watch, right, the hour hand and the minute hand, and if you want the seconds also, you can predict a lot of yes no answers very easily, right? So any yes no straight away you can figure out using this technique. Now what happens if you are looking at two clocks simultaneously and each one is showing a different time? Take the first clock which you saw, right? So you have a wall clock and you have a watch. You looked at the wall clock and you are saying that, okay, that time is not good. Then you're looking at the phone clock and you're saying, yeah, this is better. That won't work. So whatever you first saw, you have to take that. Then we will figure out how to find auspicious times and muhurta, right? There are a lot of further research which we have to look at it. So how do I find out marks? How do I find out score? How do I time an event and all? For that, only time will tell how you can do that. Okay. So first we'll talk about how to find the watch lagna and watch Chandra, right? So note down the time in hours, minutes, seconds in AM or PM format. So if you are following railway timing, 17 hours 22 minutes, make it as 5 hours 22 minutes PM, right? Now the lagna is simple. You just have to take lagna one. So the starting time is between 00 hours to 12 o'clock, right? So here the twist is 12 is actually mapped to Aries. Why? Because 12 hours, 1 minute is actually you are in the first hour of the day. So first hour of the day means it is Aries, right? Whereas if you are at 1 o'clock, 10 minutes, you are in Taurus and so on. So it's very simple, right? So anything one dot some minutes will be in Taurus or Rishabha. Anything 7 hours, 20 minutes, anything 7 hours will be Vrichika. Anything which is 11 hours something will be Meena. So this you can just remember it. Once you start practicing it throughout the day, this will become second nature to you. The second part of the calculation is the finding out the watch predictive technique Chandra. That is also very easy. Okay, we'll see that in the next slide. First here, looking at some examples. So if it is 142, it is Taurus Lagna. If it is going to be 1209, then it will be Mesha Lagna. If it is going to be 1422, 14 is nothing but 2. So then you look at it Mithuna as the Lagna, right? So watch predictive technique Chandra is similar to how you find Aruda in Jamapur, right? So within every 5 minutes, the sign changes, starting with 00 to 459 seconds for Mesha, 5 to 959 in Rishabha, and so on. Right? Straightforward. This is something which you already know. So when it is going to be 142 AM, then 42 is that you are going to use it for finding out the watch predictive Chandra. And that will be what? Dhanu. Then if you're looking at 1209, then that will be Rishabha. If you're looking at 1229, that will be Kanya. So straightforward. There is no problem with this thing, right? Is everything clear so far?
Clear, sir.
Very good. Okay. So now we will move into the application, right? So there are now what can happen? You have various positions. So it can be 1 bar 1, 2 bar 12, and so on, right? So the watch predictive lagna and moon lagna, if they are in the same sign, then it is excellent, right? For example, it is 1203. Or if it is going to be 7, if it is in 7 o'clock, what will happen? You will have to see this will be 30, 35, this will be 7:36 or something like that, right? Now, when the distance is 7 bar 7, then it is not accepted. There will be strain in the point. Okay. So if somebody is asking you a question and the time is now, for example, 103, then it is an excellent time because it will fall both the lagna and the moon will fall in the same sign. So you will say yes. But whereas if somebody is asking you a question when it is 137, so 137 will be 1 will be here, 37 will be here. So it will be 7 bar 7. So then that position is bad and there is strain. So you can't use that time. Right? You will say answer to the question which the person asked for you is uh, there is strain, it may not happen now. Similarly, right? When what happens when it is 2 bar 12 or 12 bar 2? So then it is a neutral position. Okay. So things may happen or may not happen. Most likely it may not happen. Then if you look at 5 bar 9 or 9 bar 5, right? Then this is a good position. This is actually a very good position. Sorry, this is a good position, right? And things will happen. If it is going to be 3 bar 11 or 11 bar 3, then this is a very good position. Okay. And yeah, there is a slight mistake in the PowerPoint. So 3 bar 11 is very good and 5 bar 9 is good. Okay. Then look at 4 bar 10. So you may think 4 bar 10 is very good. But actually here in Watch Predictive, it shows that it is not a good position and there is going to be delay with some stress involved, right? So if you want to go to a bank and you are starting when the time is 12:19, right? So then you may think that, okay, I just want to deposit a check. I'll go put it into the drop box and come. But then when you go there, bank may be closed for lunch hour. Drop box may not be there. They may be doing some work on to the drop box and so on, right? So you would be losing out on what is happening. Then look at 6 bar 8 or 8 bar 6. This straight away we know it shows denial. So this is something which is very popular for you. So in summary, what happens between the lagna and the moon, if it is 1 bar 1, 3 bar 11 or 5 bar 9, it is good. If it is 7 bar 7, 4 bar 10 or 6 bar 8, it is bad. 2 bar 12 is neutral, but that is also tending towards bad. So far pretty simple. Okay. Now let's move on to the next part. Right. So how do I find a good time? Now we know this part, right? So if it is in 7 bar 7, 4 bar 10, 6 bar 8, I should ignore it. 2 bar 12. So using this for every hour, you can calculate slots which are good for you, right? So for example, 12 bar 12, 12 o'clock, 12 minutes. Then that is going to be in 3:11. So then that is a very good position for us. Similarly, 12:50 to 12:54 will be what? 12 is here, 54 will be here. So 3 bar 11. So that will also be very good. Similarly, 11:15, 11 is here, 15 is here. So that's also a good time, right? Now, using this principle, you can figure out for every hour what is the excellent time, very good time when it is 3 bar 11. Excellent time is when it is 1 bar 1, right? So between 1:05 to 1:09, or 2:10 to 2:15, 3:15 to 3:20, 4:20 to 4:25. Like that, you can keep on creating the excellent time. Similarly, very good time is what? 3 bar 11 or 11 bar 3. So 1:15 to 1:20 or 1:55 to nearly 2 o'clock. Similarly, 2 o'clock to 2:05 or 2:20 to 2:25. Like that, you can create a nice table, keep it for a reference under you. Or you can just mentally calculate it because you know the principle is very simple, right? We are just using this principle. As long as the principle you are remembering 1 bar 1, 3 bar 11, 5 bar 9 are good. All others have to be showing bad result. You are good. Now we get into research, right? Lot of research. This is what has been covered in the textbook given by my Guru E Saravanan. Now we can take this, we can add more masala to this, look at things in various ways, right? So as astrologist, I think you'll be liking what you're going to see next. Okay. Now, so I can personalize this muhurta for a person. So our initial thing was what we said: avoid lagna and the moon to be in 7 bar 7, 2 bar 6, 6 bar 8, or 4 bar 10. Right. Now extend this principle. So my watch lagna should not be in the same position from natal lagna. Similarly, my watch moon should not be in those positions from natal moon. Correct? Then you will combine these two to arrive at a single picture. Okay, we will do this step by step. Don't worry. So now let us take, for example, a male with natal lagna as Mithuna or Gemini, right? So then what will happen? You will avoid first the second, which is Karaka or Cancer. Then you will avoid four, which is Kanya. Then six, which is Vrichika. Then seven, Dhanur. Eight, you will avoid Magara. 10, you will avoid Meena. 12, you will avoid Rishabha. So create like this, right? So you put the natal lagna, then put X watch lagna, X watch lagna, X watch lagna, like this. You put this. Then next step, you write down the natal moon like this, right? So for example, if natal moon is in Tula, right? Tula is here. So natal moon is here. Then similarly, second position, fourth position, sixth, seventh, eighth, 10th, and 12th. You will put one X mark for the watch moon position. Now overlap these two, like how you would do overlap between a couple's chart and other, or between Navamsa and Rasi chart. Overlap these two to arrive at this chart. Now you have a combined chart. Now places which are empty, right? Natal lagna, natal moon is okay, right? But places which are empty are those specific times which are going to be good for this person. So when the hour is going to be 2 o'clock, that is Mithuna, correct? So when the hour is 2 and the time is what? So when the hour is 2 and the time is between 10 to 15 minutes, it is good for the native, right? This is 5 minutes, this is 10 minutes, this is 10 to 15. So that will be an excellent time for the person, right? This is what we are given here. Similarly, when the hour is what? 4 o'clock, right? And then time is 20 minutes to 25 minutes, it will fall in Simha. So that will also be excellent. Or when it is 6:30 to 6:35. That is why today's class we started at 6:30 exactly. After 6:30 started only, we opened up the session, right? And tomorrow there is a repeat class where we will start at 2:10 and so on. So like this, you can create for your own chart. Okay, any questions now? Okay, then moving on to the next thing, right? Next research. So can I find degrees for my lagna and for my moon? It is simple. You can find it. So what is the point here? Now this watch lagna travels one rasi in 60 minutes. So convert that into minutes, right? So what you are saying, my the 1 degree or rather 2 minutes of time is actually 1 degree of space. So if I take my time as 4:27 p.m., now take this 27. 27 minutes will become what? 27 by 2, 13.5 degrees or 13 minutes. Sorry, 13 degrees, 30 minutes of space are. So now Lagna will be what? It is already 4 hours. So 4 hours is Leo or Simha. And then, oh, sorry, there is a mistake here. This should be Simha. Okay. So Simha 13 degrees, 30 seconds. Right. Then similarly, look at for the moon position, 27 minutes. So moon is going to travel what? 5 minutes in each side. So in that sign, between 25 to 30 minutes, moon is there in Kanya or Virgo, right? So if he travels 30 degrees of space in 5 minutes, then he will travel 6 degrees of space arc in 1 minute. So in this 2 minutes, right? Because 27 minus 25, he would have traveled 2 into 6, 12 minutes of 12 degrees of space arc. So moon will be at what? 25 to 30 is already Kanya, and then 12 degrees for the 2 minutes. So Virgo or Kanya 12 degrees will be moon. You can be more accurate if you're also taking the seconds, and then you can look at the nakshatra, then you can look at a lot of other factors. Any questions? Okay. Then let's move on to next thing. Nakshatra Tara. So now you have the degrees for the watch lagna, watch moon. So you can find out the nakshatra for them. And you have the natal lagna, natal moon nakshatras. So using the natal moon nakshatra as the base, draw the Tara chakra. See where these other nakshatras fall. Now you can apply a lot of different principles, right? Now you can look at Tara Balan. Okay, this particular, see, one thing which we already did was we avoided 6 bar 8, so that Shashtashtaka is already gone. But you can look at the other areas where to see how things are happening. Okay. Similarly, other research areas which are which I'm putting on the table, which I have not yet explored. So we can see how we want to link this with Jamakol, right? So Jamakol, Aruda, and this watch moon are same. But then you have a Estra Lagna here, you have a Udaya there. So we can see how these three interplay. Then there are special nakshatras with the Mukha, sun-based nakshatras, moon-based nakshatras and all, right? So we can apply these and see how this works. Then you have the nakshatra pada, right? Uh, Vada, 28th pada or 64th pada, which is technically the 8th Chandramsa nakshatra, 88th, sorry, 64, 88, and so on, right? And then the interplay between them and these four padas, right? For finding out timing, it is still open for research. I haven't done a lot of research on that. So you can try it out and come back. Saravanan ji gives 2, 3 examples in his book. You can take a look at that and then you can do further research on how to find the timings. He has also given examples of how you can predict marks or scores in his book. You can try that. So with that, we are at the end of the session. So we can open it up for questions. Let me stop the recording.